prejuicios y convencionalismos, ¿podría existir otro camino?
I'm back up, brace yourself. Before I was 16, no one actually knew exactly well what mental conditions I had, and so they didn't know how to help me out or how to treat it or how to deal with it. So it resulted in mostly beating and all that dark abusive stuff. Non-sexual, thank God. Then I was in the shelter, and then I was homeless, then I was in six more shelters. I was officially diagnosed with Rett, OCD, pervasive development disorder, and the ever common ADHD. People on the bus, they laugh at me, they move away from me, they start filming me on their phones, and they tell the drivers I'm intoxicated, and they actually get off the bus early than they need to because they can't stand me roaring, even though I roar into my hat. It's not. I take precautions to minimize the disturbance, but some people just, I guess, they just don't know. I know how to release my energy in a healthy way instead of just getting angry all the time. Ask anyone I know, anyone who knows me now, I'm the happiest girl ever because I know I'm getting the right support and help I need.
Come on, dismantle me, do it slowly. My hands, my feet, my voice, take everything, reduce it all to crystal blackness, 'cause blind discipline is useless. What's the good?
Western culture doesn't really agree with the idea of men as being feminine, but throughout history, it's quite the contrary. There's people like Louis XIV who wore a high heel and a wig and 4 different moles on his face. It's only our culture that says that you can't do that.
One of the biggest misconceptions is that we all want to be women. That is entirely false. RuPaul.
Some drag performers lip sync, some perform live, some don't do either of those and just use movement. Drag is an expression for me. It is an art for me. It just allows me to use voice and performance and costume. It's all encompassing.
I was teaching kids dancing, acting, singing. When I was teaching them, I realized that I didn't even want to teach them music. I didn't want to teach them dance. I just wanted to give them permission to be themselves. And that's kind of been my mission, even now as a drag queen. Just give other people permission to be themselves.
Barbie. You know, that's where it begins. It begins there. When you're a child, your mother buys you these things. Why? To fuck you up. Just make you know that you have a puss and you have tits. In every woman, there's some man. In every man, there's some woman. And the problem is, women love their man, but men, they're fucked up. They can't touch their feminine side. It's very important that men change. It's not about women's liberation, it's about men's liberation. The women have to free the men, because they're idiots.
If we get to the real root of the problem is segregation in children who are taught not to fake, but to fake all the time. So boys act like this, girls act like that. So you grow up faking everything. Yeah. You're faking that you're nice, you're sweet, you're pretty, you smile, yes, and boys fake tough. Yes. And don't cry. Yes. And this sexual segregation as children is part of the ills that color everything.
Absolutely.
Because everyone is faking everything.
How is it that you're supposed to be more beautiful because you're naturally a female? That doesn't make sense to me. Beauty is subjective. Anyone can be beautiful. It has absolutely nothing to do with female. In terms of nature, it's generally the male that needs to be more beautiful and more attractive to attract the female, because, like with peacocks, male peacocks, they, you know, fan out and they have to dance or whatever to attract a female. And it's just weird that in humans it's the reverse. Females have to be like very beautiful, have to have flawless skin, have to wear makeup, have to have long beautiful hair, and guys get to be scruffy, and it just makes no sense to me.
You know, I created this Spirited Lady that I wanted to show the world that you can do whatever you want, you know. It's not about the color of your skin, it's not about where you're from, and it's, if you want to be a bearded lady, you are allowed to do that, because I'm not hurting anyone, and that's the thing. If you're not hurting anyone, you can do whatever you want with your life, and it's so cheesy, but we just got one, so you better have a happy one, I think.
Another question? Well,
just one catch.
Meet the glamorous model who used to be a boy.
Your private parts are different now, aren't they?
They always kind of just make it about, okay, well, let's see your before, let's see your after, and now what do your genitals look like? It doesn't really give trans people the proper credit, especially when you're working hard and you're doing things that, you know, not a lot of other trans people have been able to do. I have, you know, a crazy amount of creativity, and I'd rather just be respected for that. You know, like, there are people out there that look to me to be strong. Like, no matter what, I don't care if it's being trans or just being Latin. Like, I'm proud of these things, you know, and just because it's not respected by some doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not going to respect myself.
I've never seen a diamond in the flesh. I cut my teeth on wedding rings.